What's up, my dudes? By golly, we got some MX Simulator, boys. What the hell is Spency Boy doing? I thought it was about time we came back. Check this out right here, dude. Spency Boy jumping 420,000 feet down the hill. Hell yeah, RF. Finally, you took out some of the stupid ass, pointless ass, invisible walls on the track so we can hit fun jumps again. Thank you. Oh, bro. So, I wanted to come in here and talk about these 2024 RF Pro Motocross tracks on MX Simulator. Kind of give you guys a little rundown if you haven't really rode on them yet. Give you the general idea. They got 4 of them out so far, so I kind of feel like we know what they're basically, you know, in a nutshell, going to be doing with them this year. So the 2024 tracks compared to last year's tracks, they're literally the exact same, copy and pasted when it comes to the scaling of them, like the width of the tracks and the just that kind of general overall sort of layout feeling to them, you know what I'm saying? That is identical to last year's tracks. It's basically just with like, you know, 5 to 10% smaller pre-made ruts and roughness, but there's like more pre-made on some of the jump faces. Some of the jumps have been kind of smoothed out a little bit. Some of them have been peaked out a little bit, you know, but it is basically copy and pasted last year's tracks with just somewhat of a change of the pre-made and the actual feeling of the dirt, right? That's what they are. So, for instance, like Fox Raceway was basically the worst track last year. Absolute weird-ass, dog-ass, shit-ass, you know, small one-to-one micro rut simulator type vibe track design compared to all the other tracks. You know, slow, kind of weird type feeling to it. Well, it still has that same feeling on the 2024 Fox Raceway. It's just with different pre-made ruts. You know what I'm saying? And you get to a track like High Point, for instance, which I thought was pretty good last year. Kind of opened up a little bit more of that 2017 style, carry the speed, kind of that more natural flow feeling to it. It also has that same feeling to it in 2024 because, like I say, it's the exact same scaling. And I just think the overall scaling on most of these tracks could be bigger. Like Fox Raceway, for instance, there's barely anywhere on that track you get going faster than you would on like the Supercross tracks. You know, they start to get to fill in like micro rut simulator trail tracks instead of like full-blown, you know, national pro motocross tracks for MX Simulator. They got to be careful with that one-to-one scaling shit, right? Got to be careful. And it's never going to make anything better when you make the pre-made smaller. One of the biggest problems I've seen is they've went like lower with the pre-made, it seemed like, especially on like Fox Raceway. You know, it seemed like they've went even smaller with some of the ruts and stuff like that. I don't really know what the decision-making side of things was on that, but they also have a really weird problem with qualifying in Pro right now. I know a lot of people's been talking about this, and I may make a whole nother separate video on it because Spency Boy could rant all motherfucking day about it. We all know that, okay? But the weird ass, like, you know, 2 days to qualify, you know, run 420,000 laps on the track. But with Supercross, you only have an hour to qualify on it. It does not make any sense. You know, this weird open qualifying for outdoors where it's basically, it's not who's actually better on the track. It's who's rode more laps on the track. Okay, that's really annoying. That's also another element that's just kind of made me not really give a shit about outdoors. because I just don't care about going in there and, you know, putting in 1,000 laps on a track, because by the time I do that, I don't even want to race the motos, right? But it's just kind of funny when, like, the race pace on the actual pro races are literally like 5 seconds off of the fastest qualifying lap, or even more than that, you know, 6 or 9 seconds off of the fastest qualifying lap. That's when you know you got a problem with qualifying, RF. That's when you know, bro. That is just so jacked up. And nobody wants the open qualifying in pro. Nobody wants that. Like, it's one thing to have it for AMs, you know, that's one thing, but I thought the whole point of, like, the Erode system and all that was to eliminate the, you know, one line, everybody hitting the same line, laser lining around the track and all that. I thought that was literally the entire point to the deformation system. You know, them running it in the pro racing. RF, what the hell do you think happens when you give us 2 days to qualify on the track? I'm just kind of scratching my head a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, and also in this video, I just wanted to explain sort of where I've been with the pro racing, what the hell I've been doing. I didn't even race 2 of the rounds, goofed off in the first round. I didn't even want to make it to the first round. So pretty much what happened was I put all my eggs in the Supercross basket because I really wanted to get a good result on that. So I really, you know, played the game a lot to get my Supercross setup dialed in, and it paid off. I went in there and got my best result that I have ever gotten in this game in a pro race before, which was a podium at the final round of Supercross. So yeah, honestly, I'm quite a bit behind the 8 ball here for outdoors. I really needed like another 2 or 3 weeks of testing and riding on last year's tracks to really be at that kind of level to really be up there, right? But like I say, I was putting that extra effort in Supercross because I had only had like a 9th place finish, you know, all the way up to the final round, and I really needed a good result going out of Supercross, and I got that with the podium, you know, 3rd place at Salt Lake City. So I kind of sacrificed the start to my outdoor series to make the end of my Supercross series a little bit better. And so we're playing a little catch-up game, and yeah, we should be able to get some shit figured out here towards the end of the outdoor season, but going into next year, I'll have a good base of a Supercross setup and outdoor setup, kind of updated from the old school shit, you know? The problem is, though, they've sort of changed it towards the wrong direction. They went more smaller, tighter, micro ruddy, you know, kind of that weird, slower type vibe feeling to it. They need to get it where you can carry a little more speed. I think that would add more fun, make the pre-made roughness a little bit bigger, give us some more skill gap on that end. Kind of sucks to where it feels like everybody and their grandma can just hold the gas down wide open into every fucking corner with like no real risk of flipping over. You know what I mean? That's kind of shitty when they start to feel like that, because yeah, the deformation will create like one giant, you know, hump right before a rut, but it doesn't really create the same like pre-made braking bumps that you would have had like on a 17 style track, right? So that's just what I want to see. A little more open, a little faster sections, a little bit bigger, you know, rut placement. Like, instead of making every rut the exact same size like this right here, where then everybody's just going to funnel to the outside and then it becomes one-lined, you need to start making some of these inside ruts bigger than the outside berms so that it gives you that potential, it gives you that option to maybe the inside would be faster, maybe the outside, you know, would be faster. But the problem they got is they're giving you 2 days to qualify on it, and they're making every rut the exact same size in every corner. So then you just go on there and you start to find one laser line around the whole track, and then even though you have, you know, multiple ruts around the track, it still becomes as one-lined as anything could possibly be in this game. You see what I'm saying? That's what they need to improve on. So Either way, definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I'll see y'all boys in that next one. Later, dude.